Tonight on News Prime, Benue State government flags off sanitization campaign on measles vaccination. And besides, the cotton textile garments industry to get institutional support. And of course, in New Zealand Parliament reject the Treaty Principles Bill. And the sport news tonight, second edition of the Ibadan 8th grade swimming kicks off. Hello and welcome to News Prime on Global Television, reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Edikan Michael. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. We begin from Benue State, as the government has flagged up the 2025 missiles and rebel advocacy with a call on stakeholders to ensure that adequate sensitization is taken to the grassroots for proper awareness and success of vaccination exercise with the essence of clearing the stereotypes associated with such mass immunization programs. Our correspondent Felicity Ndare has a report.
Measles and rubella, which is commonly referred to as German measles, according to medical experts, remain a health challenge, accounting for high mortality among children, a situation that calls for a concerted effort to stamp out these killer diseases. The flag off of the 2025 measles and rubella vaccine introduction advocacy in the Benue State is to ensure that adequate sensitization and enlightenment programs are taken to the 23 local government areas to educate the people on the need to present their children for the vaccination.
The negative connotation attached to this venture, and we are also handling that because we'll be having interactive sessions with them for us to dispel all that.
Blindness is associated with measles, which is not treated. Deafness is associated, brain damage is also associated with it, which means if your child is not protected with these two vaccines, you may even have a hole in the heart and you may not survive. So the most important thing and critical thing during this advocacy meeting is that we should bring out all our children in this age group to be vaccinated.
For stakeholders of the advocacy program, including chairman of the local government councils and their spouses, the future of the state can only be guaranteed with a healthy population, including children, which is why all hands must be on deck to ensure a hitch and lapses-free vaccination amongst these diseases.
We are targeting ages 5 to 15, so that when the time comes, you will not listen to the stereotypes. You will not listen to things like the vaccine is expensive.
There are a lot of problems associated with rubella, which a lot of people don't know. They only discover they give birth to child and the child is having this form of abnormality and this form. So it is a preventive measure.
There's no nation that will bring something up to kill the children and women. So whatever the government has allowed, take it that is something that will help us prevent diseases, cure diseases, and outbreaks that would come out on our way.
Governor Hyacinth Alia, represented by the Special Advisor Bureau for Local Government and Chief Tenancy Affairs Denin Aondwaka, emphasized that his administration places priority on health and wellness of the people. The reason much investment has been done in the health and human services sector.
Health itself, the management is good, but the first and most important thing is the prevention. And this is where this flag off comes. This advocacy program is very, very important.
The measles and rubella vaccination, which is for children between the ages of 9 months to 15 years, exception of pregnant women, will be carried out in October 2025.
And on to political matters. In a bid to strengthen its leadership mechanism, the Labour Party has presented a true certified copy of the Supreme Court's judgment that ousted the Julius Abure-led executive. The delegation was led by the Abia State Governor Alex Otti and Easter Peter Obi, the former presidential candidate of the party. Our political correspondent Godwin Sunday has a report.
At the meeting, Governor Otti presented court's judgment which affirmed leadership of Senator Esther Usman. He read excerpts from the document confirming that the Supreme Court's decision upheld Senator Usman's leadership of the Labour Party.
A copy of the judgment that was just released not too long ago, signed by Honorable Justice John Okoro Enya. Like I said, it's a 48-page document from page 47. So by the time you finish listening to this, all the manipulations and the lies would take flight. The three issues submitted for determination, and I'm quoting, are hereby jointly resolved in favor of the appellants. And the appellants are Distinguished Senator Esther Nenade Osman and Distinguished Senator Darlington Mukocha.
Meanwhile, the party's 2023 presidential candidate, Peter Obi, expressed his satisfaction with the court's decision, urging party members to remain fearless and committed to the cause.
Do not fear anybody. So, those who feared yesterday had not done it better.
Yes.
We must speak when things are wrong.
Yes.
Nigeria is collapsing.
Yes, sir.
Anybody can say anything. The numbers are clear. The indices are clear. Very clear. More and more people are poorer. If you want, go to your village. The people who are begging now are no longer, there are even people who are, that are no longer people who used to feed and are begging. Even in this hotel. Every time I enter this hotel now, I see people who are telling me, Oga, I just came to Abuja, I can't go back. In this hotel. So that shows you, these are where I used to come here. People say, Oga, will you drink? Come and eat. Come and do this. Nobody's offering me anything now. They're asking me to bring something. That shows how bad it is. When you now see somebody without mother telling you, I can't go back. You see, we don't enter anybody. So let us know that things are difficult, things are bad.
With the Labour Party now under new leadership, all eyes are on the party's next steps as it prepares for the upcoming elections. Godwin Sunday, reporting for Global TV News.
Now, the Nigerian Navy says it is stepping up efforts to strengthen civil-military cooperation through the Corporate Social Responsibility Initiative. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Gala, reaffirmed this commitment during a recent ceremony in Oyo State, where the Navy donated borehole facilities to local communities. Sharon Najee has the reports.
Iseyin, a prominent town in the Oke-Ogun region of Oyo State, is widely recognized for its agricultural strength and is regarded as one of the key contributors to the state's reputation as a food basket. However, one of the major challenges faced by some of its rural communities is the lack of access to potable water, a situation that significantly affects the quality of life for both adults and children. The Nigerian Navy has now intervened by donating 7 units of boreholes to benefit 7 rural communities in the ancient town. Representative of the Chief of Naval Staff, Monday Unueri, the Chief of Naval Transformation, says the initiative aligns with the Nigerian military's broader strategy to foster collaboration with civilians and promote national security.
The Chief of Naval Staff Quick Impact Project scheme is for 7 rear admirals, and it falls within the Nigerian Navy Civil Military Cooperation Initiative. It is essentially for the Nigerian Navy to contribute to the development of selected communities in order to enhance national security and national development on the long run.
Oba Shefiu Oyebola Aseyin of Iseyin says the initiative marks a significant milestone in the partnership between the Navy and the people of Iseyin.
We have already I promised the particular community a borehole, and you came at the right that I was even ruminating on how to deliver that borehole to them, that you have 7 boreholes to deliver. Definitely, you are in the spirit.
The initiative underscores the government's commitment to inclusive development, leveraging civil-military intervention to support vulnerable populations and improve overall living standards across the country. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
And now, breast and cervical cancer remains major health threats to women in Nigeria, but medical experts say early detection and preventive measures can save lives. In an exclusive interview with Global Television, our correspondent in Imo State, Amarachibe, met with the general surgeon at the Federal Medical Teaching Hospital, where Dr. Murphy Dike, who outlined the causes of these cancers and ways to reduce their risks. We now have the report.
Dr. Dike says breast cancer can be influenced by genetic factors, hormonal changes and lifestyle choices. He urged women to perform regular self-examinations, undergo mammograms, and seek medical attention if they notice lumps, unusual nipple discharge, or change in breast shape. On cervical cancer, Dr. Dike highlighted that the primary cause is persistent infection with the human papilloma virus, HPV, a virus transmitted through sexual contact. He advised women to undergo regular pap smear and HPV tests, receive the HPV vaccine, and practice safe sex to lower their risk.
Female that is about 20 to 26 years that has that gene has the increased tendency of having breast cancer. On both breasts. Yes, it's as worse as that. And it can also predispose the woman to also have other associated cancers, like cancer of the womb, cancer of the ovary, cancer of the prostate in male, cancer of the colon in male, and some skin cancers like amelanotic type of melanoma. Okay, these are genetic predisposition factors.
Dr. Dike further emphasized that both cancers can be managed effectively if detected earlier, urging women to prioritize routine health checks and adopt healthy lifestyles.
Avoid contraceptives that can increase breast cancer, avoid alcohol consumption, avoid cigarette smoking, and then do more of exercise, and then do self-breast examination and present yourself early, because breast cancer has stages. Stage 1 to stage 4. If it is gotten at stage 1 or stage 2, it can be cured. Breast cancer, emphatically speaking, is curable if it is picked early at stage 1 or stage 2.
With breast and cervical cancer ranking among the leading causes of cancer-related deaths in women, experts continue to advocate for increased awareness, regular screening, and preventive measures. In Owerri, Amarachibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Also watching the live broadcast of News Prime. When News Prime returns, federal government pledges institutional support for the cotton textile garments industry. We'll bring those details coming with foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. And out of business news, the conflict with China comes in the wake of United States President Donald Trump's latest flip-flop on the global import tariffs. Trump temporarily rolled back his reciprocal tariff on dozens of foreign economies that he says have not retaliated against the United States, instituting a blanket of 10% import levy in their place. In a discussion with the former Under Secretary General of the United Nations and the former Permanent Secretary in Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Dr. Martins Ouamohi, and the international relations expert Dr. Ibrahim Biu on diplomatic perspective on global television, they explained that the issue of the First World War was preceded by trade war and as well the Second World War, noting that the world is at the precipice of a possible Third World War. The board described the situation in the United States of America as autocratic.
I'm a historian, and I won't say too many words on this, and better know it. And this is not just a guesswork. In the history of the First World War was preceded by a trade war. The Second World War by the economic depression of the 1930s. Trade war. We are at this stage at the precipice of a Third World War. unless history fails. But if the history that I've given you plays its normal process, there is no doubt. We're already in a trade war. It's not that we are not on the precipice of a trade war. We are on the precipice. We're already in a trade. There's a global trade war that is raging.
His first assignment as the President of the United States he is going to make sure that all these people that were prosecuted and arrested and detained are freed. And he fulfilled that condition. Now, as His Excellency rightly said, we're seeing an autocracy. We're seeing a one-man's kind of dictatorship kind of ruling. You know, the Congress is useless, the judiciary useless. All decisions now is executive power being taken at the Oval Office. And that is dangerous to the United States, not only to the United States, but it's dangerous to the world, because we are seeing a new world order. This man is only 3 months. He's still having about 3 years and more. What?
It is no longer news that some persons are not satisfied with the leadership style of President Trump. It was becoming more or less a global issue at the moment, as a lot is involved in the leadership and its policies in the United States. And the executive chairman of Yola North local government area, Barrister Jibril, has officially signed the 2025 approved budget into law. He signed and approved a sum of over 20.4 trillion naira, which has been reviewed by the Yola North Local Government Council. And more on the business, federal government has reiterated its commitment to building a strong policy and institutional framework for cotton textile garment industry across the country. Our business correspondent Kikela Makere reports that the Minister of State for Industry, John Anna, gave the assurance during the opening session of a cotton textile garments stakeholders engagement here in Abuja.
Minister of State for Industry, John Uwan Eno, explained that the meeting is part of the Cotton Textile Garment Stakeholders Engagement Team's efforts to strengthen Nigeria's industry, while highlighting the importance of collaboration and innovation in overcoming challenges being faced in the industry. He described CTG industry as rich in heritage and potential, crucial for job creation and economic growth.
Having to call the stakeholders session, bringing, together the major stakeholders, those who are playing leadership in cotton, in textile and in garment, to see how everybody can get aligned to one direction and see how we can get results out of it. I mean, what do we hope to achieve from here? I mean, to review, the policy document, for the revitalization of the sector and to get it right and all of that. And secondly is to build consensus and agreement on an implementation roadmap, right, that can get us to revitalize the sector.
Stakeholders from CTG industry emphasize the need for a coordinated approach to leverage the sector's potential. They called to action for collaboration and industrialization, aiming to create jobs, attract investment, and integrate the entire value chain from demand to supply.
And we honestly hope and pray for him during this President Tinubu administration that there is hope for us. We are standing on this hope that by June we'll start seeing the manifestations of these discussions. For the first time, we are breaking out in sessions.
From demand to supply, cotton, textile, garments. The global benchmarks show very clearly countries like Bangladesh, Vietnam, Kenya started by importing textiles and focused on building garment factories first. As the garment sectors matured, they generated export revenue that attracted investments into local textile mills and ultimately cotton farming. This would also go into thread making, button making, all kinds of packaging, all these kind of industries.
The Minister of State further emphasized the need for shared prosperity and the role of the cotton textile garment industry in achieving its goal. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
And on the sport news tonight, the second edition of the Ibadan Age Grade Swimming Championship has been scheduled to take place on Friday and Saturday, April 18 and 19. A total of 150 young swimmers are expected to converge at the University of Ibadan swimming pool during the Easter weekend. Barcelona manager Hansi Flick has singled out 3 of his players for the praise following their European Champions League quarter-final first leg of 4-0 win against the Borussia Dortmund on Wednesday. The 3 players are Robert Lewandowski and Lamine Yamal. As we wrap up the news program, let's take a look at the top stories. We told you earlier that the Benue State government has flagged off the 2025 missiles and the Rubella advocacy with a call on stakeholders to ensure that adequate sensitization is taken to the grassroots for proper awareness and success of vaccination exercise with the essence of clearing stereotypes. At the business, the federal government has reiterated its commitment to building a strong policy and institutional framework for cotton textile garments. On the first in the controversial treaty principle which sought to redefine New Zealand's founding document has been voted down in a highly anticipated day in the country's parliament. Alas, in sport, the second edition of the Ibadan Age Grade Swimming Championships has been scheduled to take place on Friday and Saturday, April 18 and 19, April 2025. And that's a package here on News Prime. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us on our social media platform now shown on the screen at Global TV NG. You can also download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app and your Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcasts. On behalf of the entire production team, we say thank you for joining us here on News Prime. My name is Adekan Michael. Thanks for watching and staying with us. See you again.